This morning we had a little bit of a shortened practice, big special teams emphasis. I was really kind of pleased with the special teams work we were able to get. Tried to work out some offensive, defensive, situational work, 2-minute drills, end of game scenarios. It was an introduction to those situations. Obviously, things that we're going to have to continue to clean up and improve on. But it's good to be able to get those on tape and be able to teach and grow from there. But I thought all in all, the special teams work that we got was really productive. Some guys are taking a lot of ownership in their roles and responsibilities. We got a lot of competition in our special teams unit, so I'm excited to see that continue to progress. All right, good seeing you guys.
First question will be Ira from War Camp.
So balancing how hard you go every day.
I'm sorry, Ira, can you say it again? I couldn't hear you.
I'm sorry. With the preseason being longer this year, because you have that extra time before the season opener, do you have to do any load management like they do in the NBA, where you have to kind of balance maybe how much you're working guys from day to day to make sure you're not overdoing it with the extra time?
Well, that's something we look at that every year. Obviously with the extra time that will change our post camp schedule just a little bit. I think there's going through fall camp is one of the critical building blocks to our program, and going through some of the challenges. Obviously this is a unique year with COVID and the extended time off with not having a full summer of mandatory activities, and so we've adjusted the normal workload of what we do throughout this fall camp, and we're definitely being smart with our guys. So we're tracking everything that they're doing through GPS, through workload studies. Trying to compare that to, across the board in all aspects. But, we are going to adjust a little bit once we get, past camp, and making sure that we're preparing our guys, but also being smart with them physically to get them to the best position they can be in for September 12th.
Next will be Brennan Simone from 0247.
Hey, Mike, I was wondering, who are some of the options that are emerging for you guys, both punt returner and kickoff returner?
On punt returner, you got Keyshawn Hilton, Miko Dotson that have really kind of, jumped up into the competition and really done some nice things. I like, Miko was a punt returner there at his previous institution. Obviously, Keyshawn, DJ are all guys that have done that in the past, and so that I feel like we've got a good competition that's going on with that. But, trying to get a lot of different guys' looks to see who's most comfortable. Also put Asante Samuel back there, and he's put him, back the last few days, and he's very natural as well, and so excited about seeing that competition continue to develop.
Next will be Avalon Havabandy from War Camp.
Good morning, Coach. Hope you're well. I know the way the schedule came out, it really didn't affect your guys' preparation, but how keyed in were maybe the support staff for that West Virginia game, and how much of a form of a pivot did they have to make when the schedule did get changed and you open up the pass?
As we go into the summer each year, we try to have an advanced plan as coaches, support staff. Everything is operating months in advance, and so we spent time game planning for West Virginia throughout some of the downtime that we had throughout the quarantine. We got a real jump start on them, but especially being year one, we're still trying to figure out what we're good at, and so we didn't really overdo it. When the possibility of a conference-only schedule started being discussed, we backed off on the amount of time of opponent study other than the ones that we knew that were going to be a real potential. And so, there was a game plan. There was our support staff did have everything set for that season opener against West Virginia, but just like everything else, it's changed, and we've had to adapt and adjust to the new schedule, and trying to still capitalize on the little bit of time that we have to get a preliminary game plan and reports ready.
Next will be Matt Baker from Tampa Bay Times.
Hey, Mike, to follow up on that, are you still expecting an announcement or news on the non-conference game for the next couple of days? And once that's firmed up, what's the process that you guys do to get everything ready to go in the background while you're still working on it?
That's something that's I guess a evolving process to get that finalized. There's a lot of moving pieces that go into that. It's a an administrative ultimately decision, but we've had some good discussions. Are working through different options, and hopefully we'll be able to get that resolved here soon.
We'll go back to Aslan from War Chant.
You answered the question there. I'll pivot, I guess, back to the nuts and bolts football. You guys, I think 8 was maybe the number either you or Coach Atkins threw out there in terms of the amount of options you want to have on the offensive line. How is that sort of coming along? 2 days after the scrimmage, and there's a little more clarity in terms of who can play where.
Well, I guess I know I said 8. I'd love to have 15. That would be. I'd love that option actually. But year in and year out, if you can go into a season with 8, guys, 8 or 9, depending on position, just to have that constant, competition, but also the ability to have that cohesiveness within that group, and making sure that you're working the pairs. Most people watching the game don't realize the communication, the anticipation of the move, of the pass off, of the different ways that those guys all have to work together. It takes a ton of repetition, and if we can get 8 guys that can all operate as one, barring different positions and where they need to be in a line, I think that puts us in a really good spot. But it's hard to get to that point. Some years it's 6 or 7. On good years, 8, 9, 10 would be really nice. So we're just continuing to push the young guys along, and obviously even with the older guys that are competing for a spot and a role in that depth.
Go back to Ira from War Chant.
Hey, I don't know, it just seems like a really unique situation to have 2 senior centers. And I know Bavion has played a lot more than Andrew. What's that competition been like? And if one of them doesn't win, is there a chance that the other one could help you out at a different position?
Oh, absolutely, and I mean we also have Murray Smith has been getting a lot of reps there at center as well. I think he's got he's got a really good skill set. He's thrown himself into that competition, and we're looking for the best 5, whatever combination that is. Mo was able to play some. I think it was 4 games last year. Was able to get that experience. Bavian obviously has played a lot of games here. He does have flexibility to move to guard, and same as Baselli. So, the competition is real and live, and we're trying to make sure that the best 5 guys, the best combination to put us in a position to be successful. That's what we're going to go with.
We'll go back to Aslan from War Chant.
Coach, I think you mentioned that with the quarterbacks early on, everybody was pretty much on the same spot because of the way the install is working. Is that also the same sort of thing apply to the offensive line, or do those live game reps that they've had previously just really make a difference regardless of the scheme of the team?
There is a new language, some things that they differently that they're asked to do. So we try to give everybody a clean slate when it comes to the game reps that they've received. Some are good, some are bad. But truly trying to rely on what we see in practice every day. The scrimmages are great. The times where coaches aren't on the field to assist in any way, just to see how those guys go out and operate. And every year is different. There's no offensive lineman that we had that was here last year is in the same place as where they were. They've all improved. They've all gotten better. I'm excited about the group. I'm excited about the youth. And the guys with a lot of experience have to rely on that experience so they can go out there and play play at a high level. And but we've got some young freshmen. I can tell you, Robert Scott, Thomas Schrader, those guys are competing for jobs. Those guys, I'm really, really pleased with what I've seen, not just from their skill set, but from their mindset. And that's something that to be able to have that sense of maturity, the competitiveness that they bring, I mean, they are definitely right there in the competition.
Next we'll go with Brendan from 247.
Mike, when we spoke to you on Saturday, you said there were some conversations about players regarding the decision to opt out. I'm just wondering if there have been any follow-ups or developments with the players who decided anything on that?
No, there's been a few conversations, but there's not been anything solidified or finalized. And we're here for our guys, and at the end of the day, support guys and what their choice is. There was we had one young man that really considered it, and after being away for a few days, talking to his family, decided that he wanted to continue on. Felt very, very comfortable, with what was going on, and so I'm going to support them in that as well. So it is. I think we're in a good place, but we're just here to be supportive for our players.
Next question will be Allison Posey, WTXL.
Hey, Coach. You've been critical of the guys' work ethic this week and wanted to see more out of them. Has that gotten better? And also, who have you seen step up as a leader during this fall camp?
I thought Monday was a day that did not meet our standard, and it was one that we challenged the guys to what their response would be, and what they're willing to put on film each and every day. And I'm critical of guys when I don't see their best, because that is the expectation. We want guys to give their best in everything that they do, coaches, players, everybody involved, everybody associated with our program. There is that standard, and I really like the response that I've seen the last couple of days. From that. Guys like Asante Samuel, Emmett Rice, Leonard Warner, have really done a nice job. You look, offensively. I mean, there's a lot of competition. I know I mentioned James the other day. You look at the way that he works. Really that quarterback position, the way that they work every day. I mean, they've got to be the living example on offense of what that expectation is, and whether it's the way that they sprinting on the field in between drills, everything that they're doing, the ownership they take of mistakes that might be made, and the corrections that go with that. Been really pleased with what I'm seeing there. Devontae Taylor-Love, I think, is. And he's done a lot of good things, and he's even though he's a newcomer into our program, he definitely brings the right mindset and approach. Darius Washington is really growing up. I like the group that we have. It's just that constant development and push of going out there and giving their all.
Next question will be Ira.
Coach, when you, obviously with the new regime, everything's going to be wide open. I imagine every preseason camp positions are going to be wide open. But if you have older players who have played a lot, and then younger guys come in and pass them on the depth chart, what's the key to keeping those older players engaged and also still competing with the idea that they can get back later in the season?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously the process of going out and being their best, and you said it, to be a competitor. If we have older players that do not compete, if somebody comes in and beats them out, then they're probably not the players that we want playing for us. It's part of life. Every year we're going to try to go and bring in guys that are going to push every player that we have on our team, and hopefully recruiting to a higher level to help our players continue to develop when they're here. And it's part of the process, and that's something that I've really liked. And you guys need to be challenged. If guys feel that comfortable in their role and where they are, we're not doing our job as coaches. And there's going to be competition at every position, and guys got to live up to that standard. And with that, when you see players that maybe their role is reduced because of that competition, I want to see them take their game to another level, and that provides them a chance to be better than they've been.
sources with Chuba, I think one of his parents went on social media and said that he underwent surgery. They put a 6-week timetable. I don't know if you want to disagree with Mom, but is that pretty accurate?
Yeah, I'm not into disagreeing with the really good inside sources, but you know, we're not going to get into many specifics of his. I mean, obviously, you know, if a parent wants to speak on behalf of a player on where they are, you know, obviously respect that. But I'm not going to get into many specifics with the actual the injury, and you know, we're excited about everything that we've heard in regards to where Chuba is and what that will be. So we're working through that, and you know, I feel very confident for what that's going to look like this year.